Will you take my unburdening? The circumstances have prevented it. Which is why you will remember nothing of what is said in this grove. I'm not human. I'm a positronic robot.
We need to talk about Demerzel, because one of the biggest things fans are pointing out this season is just how different she is from the robots in the books. In the books, robots were humanity's protectors. They're logical, peaceful, and unstoppable. But the Demerzel we're seeing this season is something else entirely. She erases memories with the burden of it etched on her face. She doesn't flinch, but something as simple as a hand gesture clearly spooks her. And she obeys the Empire, not out of loyalty, but because she's programmed to. And here's the thing. This isn't just a new take on an old character. This could be a completely different kind of robot. One that doesn't follow Asimov's rules in strict detail. Some fans think she's our Daneel Olivow, the mastermind robot from the books. But if you've been watching closely, especially in the past few episodes, there's a growing case that she might not be. Because the way Demerzel behaves, suffers, and the way she's trapped doesn't line up with who Daneel really was. And if she's not him, and this is a new kind of robot entirely, then the galaxy might be more vulnerable than it's ever been. How robots work in the books versus the show. In Isaac Asimov's books, robots aren't just machines, they're guardians. Every robot follows a strict set of rules called the 3 laws of robotics. The first law is simple. A robot can't harm a human. The second, they must obey humans unless it breaks the first law. And the third, they can protect themselves, but only if it doesn't break the first 2. That's the foundation. But one robot, our Daneel Olivow, took it further. Over thousands of years, he developed something new, the Zeroth Law. It allowed him to hurt or even kill individuals if it meant saving humanity as a whole. That tore him apart inside, but he believed it was the only way to protect the future. That's who Daneel was, the hidden hand behind humanity's survival. A robot who evolved beyond his programming because he chose to. Now look at Demerzel. She's not evolving, she's stuck. In this season, she doesn't choose who to help. She has chosen the Empire over humanity. Even when that means betraying people she cares about. Her loyalty isn't a choice, it's hard-coded. But that's not what Daneel would do, and that's the first sign that something's seriously off. Demerzel's breaking point in Season 3. If there's one moment that tells us everything we need to know about Demerzel, it's what she does to Song, Brother Day's consort. Song isn't just close to power. She's secretly part of a banned religion known as the Inheritance, a group that believes robots will one day return to remove injustice from the galaxy. In Episode 3, she becomes a threat, not because she's violent or rebellious, but because her loyalty lies with the Inheritance over the Empire. And just like that, Demerzel wipes her memory. And the worst part? Demerzel doesn't look victorious. She looks broken. We've seen her hold it together. We've seen her carry guilt. But this time, it's deeper. She knows she's crossing a line, but she can't stop herself. She even tells Brother Day afterward, "I did what I should have done months ago." There's no pride in her voice, just exhaustion and pain. Also, earlier in Episode 1, when Demerzel meets with Zephyr Halima in the Sacred Grove, not to pray, but to unburden, she reveals what almost no one knows, that she's a positronic robot. And during that conversation, she says something that gives us a big clue about whether she's really our Daneel Olivow. While explaining the laws robots follow, she says they were originally bound by the 3 laws until, in her words, one of our kind suggested new programming was needed. She's talking about the Zeroth Law, the one Daneel himself created in the books. And if she's describing it as something another robot came up with, then maybe that means she isn't Daneel at all. She wants someone to understand her, even if that someone will forget it all by the end of the conversation. But this isn't the behavior of an all-knowing protector like Daneel. He made hard choices because he believed in a bigger purpose, and he chose to carry that burden. Demerzel, on the other hand, doesn't get to choose. She doesn't guide history. She's trapped by it, obeying commands she can't reject, even when they tear her apart. Book robots don't fall apart like this. Book robots evolve. They make sacrifices for the greater good. But Demerzel just suffers for the system that controls her. Fan theories about who Daneel really is. Here's where things get interesting. If Demerzel isn't acting like our Daneel, maybe that's simply because she isn't him. Some fans believe the real Daneel hasn't even shown up yet, that Demerzel is just a placeholder built in his image, but not the original. There's even speculation that he's still out there somewhere, hiding and watching events unfold from the shadows, which also might explain why Demerzel reacts so strongly when Song makes the sign of the inheritance. These people worship robots. They're waiting for one to return and save them. And the tragedy is, the savior they're waiting for? She's already standing right in front of them. They just don't know it. Or maybe the savior they're waiting for isn't her at all. Maybe it's the real Daneel. And if he's out there, this might be the moment he returns. And then there's Galaxia. In the books, Daneel's ultimate goal is to merge all living minds into a single, shared consciousness called Galaxia. A peaceful hive mind meant to eliminate suffering, conflict, and isolation on a galactic scale. The show hasn't mentioned Galaxia by name yet, but we are seeing hints. There's the inheritance, and there are characters like Song. That's not a coincidence. It might be the beginning of something bigger, something Demerzel might not even be leading, and maybe doesn't even understand. What this changes about Foundation's story. So let's piece everything together. If Demerzel is just following orders and can't choose who to protect, only who she's programmed to obey, then there's no one left guiding the future. There's no master plan or greater good. We're just watching a galaxy spin toward collapse, and the one being powerful enough to stop it is being used like a tool. And the worst thing is, she knows it. She questions the Cleons, her purpose, and even her own programming, but she never breaks it. And that's the danger. In the books, Daneel was humanity's safety net. He was the one secretly working behind the scenes for thousands of years, making sure the galaxy didn't fall apart. His biggest mission was to help guide something called the Selden Plan, a scientific roadmap designed by Harry Selden to stop civilization from collapsing into chaos. And to keep that plan alive, Daneel made hard decisions. He sacrificed relationships, identity, even his own body, just to protect the future. But Demerzel's not doing that. So if Demerzel isn't the god behind the curtain, if she's not Daneel, then maybe there is no god at all. Just people, systems, and code running on autopilot while everything burns. And if that's true, then Foundation isn't the story we thought it was. So what happens if she snaps? Demerzel might be the most powerful being in the entire empire, but she's also the most trapped. She's bound by old rules and haunted by decisions she didn't make. And somewhere under the programming, there's something trying to break free. So the real question isn't whether she's Daneel, it's what happens if she stops pretending to be. Because if the only thing keeping this galaxy from total collapse is a robot who's been holding back for centuries, what happens when she finally lets go? If you have any theories about whether Demerzel is really Daneel, or just another kind of robot, I'd love to hear them in the comments. If you like this, then check out our other Foundation videos right now. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one.